There's a kind of loneliness that doesn't arrive with tears. It arrives with a subtle stillness, a sense that you no longer fit inside the shape of the life you once lived. Carl Jung once whispered to the depths of our nature, loneliness does not come from having no people around you, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you. If you felt this, stay close. You are not broken. You are awakening. Maybe lately you've noticed a strange fatigue that no sleep can cure. You wake up with that hollow tightness in your chest, carrying conversations that feel scripted, smiling in rooms that feel distant. People laugh. You respond. But something in you feels like it is dissolving. You look around in wonder. Does anyone see the invisible wounds you carry? The quiet nights when your thoughts don't rest? The shame of feeling out of place even among those who love you? You've been available for everyone. But when you are the one unraveling, the silence around you becomes deafening. You begin to sense that perhaps you are shedding parts of yourself that were never truly yours. And that shedding, though natural, feels like a small death. You notice your relationships shifting. Some friends no longer feel like home. Their words bounce off your skin like rain on glass. You catch yourself staring out windows, longing for something you can't name. The exhaustion is not from doing too much. It's from carrying what is not yours to carry. What you are feeling is not failure. It is not weakness. It is the first tremor of individuation, a word Jung used to describe the process of becoming whole, of integrating the parts of yourself you once denied. Like Nietzsche said, one must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. Chaos is not the end, it is the beginning, the shaking of an old structure so that something truer can emerge. When you stop performing, when you stop betraying your own essence to fit into patterns that were never yours, people around you sense it, and it scares them. Not because you are wrong, but because you are free. Let's walk slowly through this inner terrain. For years, perhaps decades, you learn to wear masks. The dependable friend, the one who never asks for too much, the one who carries their own pain in silence. Each mask is praised by others. They call you kind, they call you strong, but inside the weight of invisibility grows. Jung called the denied parts of ourselves the shadow. Your anger, your yearning, your unspoken truth, these are not flaws, they are fragments of your wholeness exiled into darkness. To reclaim them is to step into authenticity. But authenticity is unsettling to those still living in their own masks. And so, when you start to speak differently, to move differently, to question what once felt unquestionable, you feel the shift in the air. The jokes, the awkward silences, the subtle judgments, all signs that your evolution is unsettling the stillness of others. Alan Watts spoke of solitude as a return to your original nature. He said, stop measuring days by degree of productivity and start experiencing them by degree of presence. But presence feels terrifying when you have been running from yourself for so long. In this solitude, you will face nights when the weight of your own mind feels unbearable. Memories you buried resurface. Regrets speak loudly. Shadows you avoided stand before you. But solitude is not emptiness. It is a temple being built within you, stone by stone, as you reclaim every part of yourself. The silence will feel cruel at times. You may crave someone to simply say, I see you. Yet in that craving lies the seed of your awakening, because eventually you will learn to say it to yourself. Nietzsche warned that those who walk alone are often accused of arrogance. Schopenhauer called it the burden of existing as an individual rather than a copy. Society thrives on collective mediocrity, on unspoken agreements that no one goes too far, feels too much, or questions too deeply. When you begin to step out of those agreements, you unsettle others without meaning to. Your clarity exposes their numbness. Your refusal to bend becomes a quiet threat. And this is where many turn back. The pressure to conform is heavy. But if you remain, you will find something extraordinary growing within you. A mind that cannot be manipulated. A heart that does not betray itself for approval. To live authentically is to step beyond the herd, to stop borrowing your worth from the crowd. Jung described this as individuation, the process of becoming who you truly are, rather than who the world wants you to be. Nietzsche envisioned the Übermensch, the one who creates their own values, who does not inherit their morality, but builds it from within. This is not arrogance, it is authorship. To write your own soul, line by line, even when the world hands you a ready-made script. Imagine standing in a crowded square where everyone wears identical masks, repeating identical phrases. You begin to remove your mask. At first, they laugh, then they frown, then they whisper. But you keep removing layers until your own face breathes in the open air. That is the silent rebellion. To become whole, you will lose things. Relationships built on your compliance may dissolve. Opportunities that demand you betray yourself will vanish. You will lose the ability to pretend, to smile through your own erasure. But in losing these, you will gain a deeper presence, a deeper peace. You will notice it in small moments. The stillness of early morning, when the world is quiet and you feel at home in your own skin. The calm that comes when someone disapproves and you no longer crumble. The strange joy in solitude when you realize your own company is enough. This journey is not linear. There will be days when you feel reborn and nights when you feel shattered. But remember Nietzsche's words. You need to have chaos in yourself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. The chaos is not your enemy. It is your teacher. Each fragment of pain is a map back to yourself. Each silent night is a seed being planted in the soil of your soul. You are not weak for feeling deeply. You are not lost for questioning everything. You are a soul in metamorphosis. There will come a night, perhaps soon, perhaps quietly, when you will sit in the stillness of your own company and realize you are no longer begging the world to see you. You see yourself. And in that moment, something shifts. The loneliness that once felt like abandonment becomes a sacred solitude. The pain that once felt like punishment becomes a doorway. The silence that once felt like emptiness becomes a home. You will feel it in your chest, a quiet strength, a calm knowing, a soft but unshakable truth. You were never too much. You were simply becoming whole. If you are here, still listening, still breathing through these words, then something in you has already begun to awaken. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are unfolding. The path ahead will not always be gentle, but it will be real. And in a world of echoes, you will be a voice. When you next feel that old ache of not belonging, remember this. Perhaps you are not lost. Perhaps you are finally away from what never belonged to you. If this spoke to something deep within you, stay close. You are not alone in this silent rebellion. And as you walk away from this moment, I leave you with this question. What part of yourself have you been hiding, waiting for the world to be ready?